Hi, this is Hilma Volk, and I'm going to talk about strengthening your hands. Now, one thing that some people try to do to strengthen their hands is use tennis balls to increase your grip. But if you're having carpal tunnel syndrome or things that resemble carpal tunnel syndrome and have weak hands from it, squeezing tennis balls is going to make your problem worse. Why? Because there's muscle imbalance. Generally speaking, the muscles that close your hands, as I've said many times before, are relatively stronger than the ones that open your hands because we're doing everything this way. And that leads to muscles getting shorter, either because muscle fibers are stuck together or they're stuck in a closed position. They're not in spasm, they're just stuck. And using the techniques with loosening the forearm will actually make your hands stronger without doing anything else, because having shortened muscles weakens your hands. It also shortens the tendons up. If you've got muscles in contraction all the time that are stuck in contraction, the tendons tend to get shorter. That means they're thicker. That puts more pressure in the carpal tunnel area. Also, by breaking up these tendon sheaths that I talked about, you're getting the pieces of cells and other debris in there loosened up so that the natural healing processes in your hands can take them away. Once they're broken up a little bit, they can get into the blood plasma, into the white blood cell system, into the lymph system, whatever. Then these amoeba-like things called macrophages can gobble them up and take them away. So breaking this up and loosening this up is very, very important. So before you even try to strengthen your hands, loosen these guys up and it'll automatically make your hands stronger. However, for some of you, that's obviously not strong enough. Also, if you're having pinching from any other places that I discussed before, if they're pinching off the circulatory system or any of the nerves going into your hand, that will make your hands weaker, and loosening those up will make your hands stronger. Okay, now what to do about strengthening the muscles, because some of you, particularly guitar players and other types of musicians, like to get those fingers nice and strong, and just working on the tennis balls alone is not going to do it. I mean, it will make your hands stronger, but it's because it's creating the imbalance in there. If you've already got carpal tunnel problems, it'll make it worse. So what you want to do is loosen up these guys first. You want to loosen up both sides of your forearm, the whole forearm area, because the ones that make your hands go back, the extensor muscles, are also weaker because they have to stretch out more, because these guys are shorter all the time, and more often your hand is in a state of flexion, and these guys have to be stretched more often than they should be, and making these guys weaker. Trust me. And also, there are some sports like tennis where you're using backhands, so your hand is going back but it's also gripping at the same time. This right inside the tennis elbow area, you want to get that really loosened up before you go on a strengthening campaign. So you've got your forearms muscles loosened up, and you can keep them loosened up either by doing the self-massage or by stretches. It's good to do stretches to keep yourself from preventing your problems from getting worse, okay? Stretches, muscles like stretching, once your muscles are loosened up, it's a lot easier to loosen them up with self-massage than it is with stretches. But anyway, that's another topic. So one thing you can do is use handy-dandy little rubber bands. Told you this was no equipment needed, but most of you can find rubber bands somewhere. And I'm just using my thumb there to keep them in place. And that's not long enough for my thumb, so we'll just stretch these guys out first. Now, because these muscles probably haven't been exercised very much, you don't want to do it too much because you'll fatigue your muscles out. Go to the extent that you can do this. Now, if you pull harder, it'll put more force. And if you want to go harder, you can use thicker rubber bands or double up the rubber bands. Doubling up rubber bands will almost double the force on there, pretty much. And you can do the same with the thumb, get that outstretched. Now they do have devices that you can do this with. And after you get these strengthened, you can use your tennis ball or whatever gripping devices you have to make your hands stronger. But you want the balance there. It's the imbalance that causes problems.